Hello, Sofa Squad. How's everybody doing? Hello, 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 hello. How are you? Y'all already know the deal. If you're not new here, let's drop a number one so that we know that y'all can hear me talking. Let's make sure I'm plugged in. If you were here last time, you already know. Okay, well, the microphone's plugged in. Now, also, let's do a sound test. Now there's not going to be audio, or I'm sorry, like video or anything like that. We got a one. We got a one. Thanks Renee. Thanks Tux. Hey Ultra, Emily. Welcome Emily to the sofa. Our lovely friend, our lovely moderator, a wonderful human being of Emily. Yes, 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 Emily. Hello Vanessa. Hello Emster. Hello Tracy. How are y'all doing? Hello Carol. Listen. Okay, let's do a sound test. How is this sound for everybody's ears right here? I don't want to blow it out. This is the loudest that it goes right here, and now it goes down, 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 down. But now this is back up here. Pardon me. So we'll leave it here, and then if I start to get too loud, because y'all know I will, then we'll just turn it down a little bit. But we're not going to be watching video and have like varying audio and stuff like that for this. So there's that. I hope everybody's doing well. It's good to see y'all. Let me get back. There we go. And let me mute that. Okay, let me get to the actual chat room. First of all, I forgot to. Y'all, go on, get ready. Go on, get ready. Y'all, oh my gosh, look at this. I got the mail today. This side says that. And I busted it out for this. Gee, thanks, Sarah. We're going to need it for today, y'all. Okay, please hold. Okay. So, what we're doing, so first of all, this is the podcast channel. It's basically just where I go live. And might I say, it just hit 15,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. And y'all, I'm sorry, but we might need a damn moment of silence up in here. Would everybody please take note at Book Mama's name and notice what is different about it from the several last live chats that we did? Okay. Okay. If you've been in the last few live chats, then you already know the big to do about her name being in green. Okay. I mean, I'm talking about just this is mine, you damn mental. Okay. So it is what it is. I know she's finally agreeing. We absolutely loved it. So congratulations, Book Mama. Never been so happy to see somebody's name in green. That was so funny. Hey, Samantha, how's it going? Hey, Mama. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Medea. Okay, so, but this is the little podcast channel. We go live over here, and then the other, what is it? The other channel is the edited channel. That's where I do the edited videos and whatnot. And then I have my scary movie channel, review videos and movies and stuff like that over there. So that's what we got going on. But today on this channel, we are doing Sarah Boone. Now, what we're going to be doing is going over a bunch of documents. Now, I did a video earlier today, like a pre-recorded one, and sent it off, and it was on the 29-page document. A lot of that is her just doing case law. I read it verbatim in there, though, because she drops little nuggets off throughout it. However, we ain't reading 29 pages of it today. Now that I know the parts to read, we'll cover that. I have not read the 20-page one, and I started to read the response, and very quickly was like, I need to wait on this. Well, okay, I'm lying. I did read a good portion of it because I was like, oh my god, this is so good. So the order that we'll do them in is we're going to do the 20-page thing first, then we're going to do, it's 29 pages, but not the whole thing, and then we'll read the response, okay? And that's it. So here we go. And let me just get the screen better for y'all. Hold on. Please hold. Let me go over to StreamYards. I hope y'all are doing well. It's Wednesday. It's been a very busy day. We've had computer malfunctions. We've had all sorts of stuff over here, y'all. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Texas Redhead says, after page 16 or 17, I started skimming my eye with twitching. Amen, girl. I mean, seriously. Okay. Seriously. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. Hey, Stephanie, how's it going? Stephanie says, it's like a telenova that's unhinged and only from jail court. That's such a good synopsis. Oh, that is such a good synopsis. Hey, Larry. Hey, Trad Mom. Hey, Erica. Audra, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. She wants everything. Hey, Elon. I know she does. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to go read from this one. Now, this one I have not read through yet because I just couldn't do it after that 29-page one. I was like, I I can't do it. Yeah, Holly, 29 pages. But again, we're not reading the whole thing. And if we get into some boring stuff in this one, we'll skip over it because literally, and I'll say this, hey Spooky, how's it going? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm glad for that Big Me Wonder, Big Mel's Wonderland. I was like, Big Me Less Wonderland. Hey, Duchess. So, wait, I just lost my thought. Oh, I will give Sarah this. The amount of writing and transcribing she does is insane, okay? Like, next level. But, like, what else is she going to do, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, so page 1. The beginning here is just, the little stuff, but it does say, temporary motion for reservation of proposed costs to acquire investigator for defendant's defense and trial. Comes now Sarah Boone, pro se, indigent defendant, respectfully request from this court the reservation of proposed cost to acquire the investigator for the defendant's defense in the trial. Now, she does like to refer to herself as indigent throughout these documents a lot. She really talks herself down in the 29-page one, which I think is fascinating because she's literally been telling everybody how to do their job in this, but all of a sudden now that she needs something, she's little miss uneducated, indigent, and now I can't say it, indigent, all the things, right? This is just how we roll. So she says, investigator to be determined, total amount requesting to be determined, how to calculate, unknown by defendant, reason, no discovery or case materials provided to defendant from the judge. Okay, now obviously we know some of this is dated because they did get the boxes. They're currently putting them on a jump drive or whatever you call that so that she can work from on the discovery in the context and the confines and the rules that the jail is requiring for obvious reasons. She is incarcerated. Basically, what I'm taking from the thing about the to be determined is she wants a blank check, right? This would probably not make her happy, though. It says a temporary motion is being submitted to meet the delegated due date of 7/22/24. We've obviously passed that by the judge, and count is stated to the defendant in the order dated 6/28. The defendant is trying to avoid any further persecution and penalization from the judge and court, while vigorously attempting to succeed in her forced position of pro se attorney and representation of self. Now, she also loves capitalizing the word forced. She used it all throughout the other document. This is a big go-to word for her. Indigent and forced are very big. She does use pro se for obvious reasons. Obviously, persecution, this is just a given, right? This is her baseline. If we're establishing a baseline for Sarah's vocabulary, these are some of the things we're going to see in there, right? Let me just check in on y'all over here because I've been on the other screen. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Then, instead of saying boom, 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 I'm going to say boom, boom, boom. If I can remember. Okay, so let's see. Let's go down to this next paragraph. The defendant is... oh, no, I already did that. Sorry. We're not going to repeat it. The exceeded time limit of waiting to receive the defendant's discovery and case materials promised by the court has forced the submittal of this temporary motion. She didn't want to do it, but she's been forced to. Once the defendant has finally received, she will be able to proceed. Received, proceed. Will revise and resubmit this motion upon completion of her review and research of the contents. It would never happen. She'll never be done doing that. Okay, we already know this, right? Wherefore, Sarah Boone, pro se indigent defendant, respectfully requests to the Honorable Court to reserve any and all costs proposed to be incurred to acquire the investigator for and in the defense of her criminal case for trial. The defendant's requests are in good faith. I'm sure they are. And her merits are worthy in something and striving to successfully, lawfully, and properly perform, act, thrive, and overcome her forced by the court position of pro se attorney and representation of self. I mean, I don't know if she's copying this from something. It's all very wordy and sounds very lawyerly, right? I mean, it sounds Daryl Brooksy, but it also sounds kind of legit, right? Like the whole thing, I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of surprises me how much, like, where is she getting this from? Like, what file is she copying is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, Conclusion. This temporary motion for reservation of proposed cause to acquire investigator for defendant's defense and trial should be granted. Well, of course. Oath. Under the authority of section... Okay, this is just going to do the little oath thing. Let's just agree to not read this for all of them because it's not really that necessary. Certificate of service. I hereby certify an original of this document has been filed. Okay, so this is just more business right here. Let's get down into this right here. Completed and mailed July 18th. And the Circuit Court in Orange County, State of Florida, visit Boone. Okay, so this is the next one. Temporary motion for reservation of proposed cause to acquire expert witnesses for defendant's defense and trial. Comes now Sarah Boone, blah, blah, blah. Expert witnesses to be determined, to be determined. Don't know how to calculate. Reason, no discovery. So let's just go ahead and agree that these are probably going to be, we don't know how many witnesses or whatever it is. We don't know how much. And the reason is there's no discovery has been provided from the judge. Let's see what she has to say about it. This is being, whoops, this is being, hold on, okay, so this temporary motion is being submitted to meet the delegated due date of 7/22. Yes, we've done this. I'm just trying to get to something new, so we have the same type thing. Sarah Boone, pro indigent. I'm just skipping through this because we just read this before. It's like she's just kind of repeating the same stuff. In fact, this is for a reservation of proposal. Okay, so this is the same thing we just read, except for the expert witnesses. There's nothing new here, right? Just more Sarah Booning. Okay, the next one we have temporary motion for reservation of proposed cause to acquire all witnesses for the defendant's defense and trial. Comes now, she's indigent, all that, to be determined, reason, no discovery, we get it. It's being submitted, the judge stated to the defendant in order, yep. The defendant is trying to avoid further persecution and penalization, we've read that. The exceeded unit of waiting to receive the defendant's discovery, yep, we did that. I'm just going through this again until we get to, maybe this is the more boring document, obviously, because the other one did have some interesting stuff in it, but we'll get through it. And I hope y'all don't mind me skipping over this, but I can't with her, right? I just can't, I can't with all this. I'm sure the judge wants to do this too, right? Hold on, Carol. I'm just reading your comments real quick. Carolina says, Sarah Boone absolutely copied all of this. Compare these motions to all her letters. We can all know she copied all this stuff. Yeah, I agree. This doesn't say so much. She's saying so much by saying so little. Stephanie says, the judge is so patient, legal. Cat Shy Town says. Keshette says, why is this handwritten? I think that's the only way she has to write it in jail. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's go. Let's get back to the next one, see what it is. So we just have the conclusion, the oath, all that. We've done that. Certificate of service, same thing. Mailed. Okay, so the next one's for temporary motion for depositions to be conducted per prop rule 3.220 by defendant under pro se attorney title and position ordered by the judge in court. She's going to start asking for money for her damn self. She's going to start talking about indigent, this, that, and the other, self-appointed per se or pro se court. I am charging $200 per hour. That's what my professors at Harvard Law told me I could get. She found her way on damn Fiverr. She's gonna be, I'm telling you, she's sought after. She's sought after that day. She is sitting pretty up in her cell, She's got so many honey buns in there, I can tell you this. She's a honey bun queen. Okay. Let's just see. Let's get to the juice of this, okay? To be determined. Total amount for transcripts to be determined. How to calculate unknown by defendant reason it's been forced. Okay, so the reason for this one is the defendant has been forced into the title and position of pro se attorney by the judge in court. Pro se attorney requests to take the depositions for her defense. And no discovery or case materials have been provided to defendants by judge. Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure states, generally at any time after the filing of the charging document, any party may take the deposition upon oral examination of any person authorized by this rule, okay? In any case, no person shall be disposed more than once except by consent of the parties or by order of the court issued on good cause shown. A witness who refuses to obey a duty served subpoena may be adjudged in contempt of the court from which the subpoena issued. Yeah, so A, the defendant may without leave of court, take the deposition of any witness listed by the prosecutor as a Category A witness. After receipt by the defendant of the discovery exhibit, the defendant may, without leave of court, take the deposition of any unlisted witness who may have information relevant to the offense charged. 6. Discovery sanctions. States, I mean, this is where it's like, there's literally 20 pages of this in the next document, but it was just like list after list after list, and I'm like how she sits here and talks about, I don't have time to do this. What if I get up at 2 in the morning? I'm like, girl, you're spending all your time doing this, and I understand, and I'll give her props for the fact that she's like trying to do this research in case law and prove her point. I get it. Like, that's what an attorney does, and she's doing all of it. But it's like, and I said this in the video I recorded this morning. Let me switch back over to y'all real quick just so I can see. So pardon me. I said this in the video I recorded this morning, so you'll see it when you watch it or whatever. She gets fixated, and this is what is so frustrating, on, like, okay, say here's the case right here, and everyone in the case is moved up to here. She gets fixated on some minuscule piece of dust on the floor back here and will not move past it. And it's like everyone's up here and they're like, this doesn't matter anymore. We've moved on. And the stuff that she's fixated on, it's like, it doesn't matter. Just like the other day in the courtroom, where she's wanting to sit there and talk about how long the discovery took, how long this, how long that. And I understand it's frustrating. But on the same note, it's like, well, it's in front of you now. They have to do this. You have to take that into consideration, right? And so it's like, but she's just fixated and won't move past it. She won't move past that she wasn't notified to come in there. Okay, well, let's get over it. Let's move on. You're spending all of this energy on something that's like, on some old aspect, and it's like, you got to move on. And also, pardon me, also the thing that the judges or the lawyers are saying and whatnot, I can almost, now I don't know, again, this is sofa speculation, that she is basically coming up with her own defense. Like, she's probably saying, like, this is what we're going to do. I know if you don't agree with me or go along with this, then I'm going to make your life a living hell. Like, almost like you're my secretary. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the next document. And she's specifically asking for, legal representation, like the person who stands to the side or whatever. And so that part of it, I'm just like, yeah, this is what's so frustrating. And even if you look at it from the grift part of it, which is like, okay, it's her shtick, it's her thing, it's what she's doing, she's just trying to play this game. Even on that level, it's like, but you have to progress it a little bit, because now you've shot yourself in the foot. It's like, run it up. If this is what her MO is, okay, run it up to the line, and then when you see, okay, we've done this, then bam, we have to continue on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. Anyways, let's keep going. Okay, we're up. That's the wrong thing. Okay, please hold. Okay, so, states, if at any time during the course of the proceedings it is brought to the attention of the court that a party has failed to comply with an applicable discovery rule, please hold. Sorry. The coffee is dehydrating me. Okay, rule, or with an order issued pursuant to an applicable discovery rule, the court may order the party to comply with the discovery or inspection of materials not previously disclosed or produced, grant a continuance, grant a mistrial, prohibit the party from calling a witness not disclosed or introducing in evidence the material not disclosed, or enter such other as it deems just under the circumstances. Number 2, willful violation by counsel or party not represented by counsel of an applicable discovery rule. Pardon me, I'm sorry, y'all. Pursuant thereto, shall subject counsel or the unrepresented party to appropriate sanctions by the court. The sanctions may include, but are not limited to, contempt proceedings against the attorney or unrepresented party, as well as the assessment of cost incurred by the opposing party when appropriate. This temporary motion, okay, so she goes into that. The defendant is trying to avoid any further persecution. We've read this paragraph 100 times over now. The exceeded time limit, yep, we've done that. We've done that. Good faith, yep. Conclusion, yep. Oath, yep, we've done it, yep, Certificate, yep, Okay, so There's that one. Let's stop here for a second. So that one was just, it is what it is. Those were just the basic motions. I'm actually surprised that that one, so let's get rid of that. Now what we're going to do, y'all, is we're going to get into that big one, okay? But again, don't let it, like, you know, be intimidating. We're not going to read the whole thing, okay? I just have to find it. Please hold. Present, share screen, share screen, share. Make sure you're seeing it. Yep, yep, yep. 29. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep. Okay. Okay. Here we go. We're down with the flow. Okay, so first page. Received from Judge Sarah Boone. We get it. We get it. Okay, so motion requesting immediate relief to the defendants by appointing, this one gets good, y'all, by appointing effective standby counsel to aid and support in preparation of her criminal case for trial. Okay, let's scroll down. Comes now Sarah Boone, pro se indigent defendant, respectfully requests from the court immediate relief by providing effective standby counsel with all legal services allowed and included to assist and aid the defendant as a whole in the complex vital procedural preparation with professional guidance during her forfeited right to counsel by the court as pro se attorney and in her proposed lawful representation of self and her criminal case. I mean, my God, y'all. I mean, come on. That's insane. Okay. Defendant's unjustifiable reasons for defendant's justifiable reasons, we can say unjustifiable, for request, relief, and assistance are as follows. Okay. Now this, just bear with me here a little bit. This will be one where you might skim through it some because it gets, you know, some of it's interesting, but we'll start to skip over a little bit. Okay, so the defendant's sixth constitutional right to counsel is being violated, unlawfully withheld, and forcibly removed from the indigent defendant under false pretenses, speculation, libel, and misconstruction, I believe that says. Now just pause right there for a second, y'all. Now, again, we're going to read here in a second. The judge, all this little talk she does right here, they knocked this out real quick. Okay, or not the judge, but whoever it was, we'll read in a second. I mean, it's just real quick. We already went over this. Here's the reason why you lost your attorney. Done. Move the conversation on. The fact that she's still going on about this, and so this is one thing I said I just remembered, and now that it's come up. So you see how she's talking about I need an assistant, attorney, and all this type of stuff? 100%, mark my words. If she were to get one, which I speculated he would give it to her, but apparently not. Okay, so on the other part, pardon me, on the other aspect, whether he gives it to her or not, whatever, I personally think she would treat them like a secretary. Like, she would come in there and completely demean them, completely talk smack, do all that kind of stuff, and just completely go off on them to the point that they would probably complain. And that's my bet on that. I just still stand by. I think that she has in her mind, this is what the thing is. This is what it's, my defense is going to be. And all these attorneys are probably like, but that's like not possible, right? Like, whatever it is, I don't know. And so they're like, yeah, that's not going to work. We're going to have to move on. And she can't do that. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? Okay, here we go. Where are we at? There we are. Okay, so here we go. Second one. I'm just catching my spot. Okay, by the defendant's lawful practice of her entitled, we can get that right, first constitutional right to free speech and her God-given right to do so by writing her experience, derived truth, and providing red flag exposure exposure or expose, I can't see which it is, and her correspondence to the court requesting needed intervention to avoid present circumstances. She has lost completely her ability and advantage to properly, rightfully, successfully prepare her defense of innocence, progressively advance faith and unrestricted while having the ability to be leveled equally with the prosecution. But this is my thing, and I said this 100 times in the video today, that absolutely just sends me screaming over the edge. I'm like this, I'm like, but you had that. She acts like she walked into court for the first time and the judge took away, like, it just took this away. It's like, but we've been here 100 times over. You ruined this chance. So that's where I don't know. I just, that part sends me over the edge. Okay. Wait, let me scroll down. Please help, please help, please help. The defendant is not an officer of the court. Thank the Lord. Good God. Don't even give her a damn stun gun. Or any court. Again, thank the Lord. Our legal systems as a whole. Now, this is the part that surprised me, because if you were in the live we talked about the other day, we were talking about she's going to start putting ESQ after her name when she signs the letters. She's going to start talking about how hard Harvard Law School is, right? So the way she talks herself down here, but it only suits her too, right? Of course, she's not going to be like, I'm a lawyer or whatever. She'll talk like she is, like, the victimhood of it. But the way she just downs herself here trying to get something is very interesting to me. So the defendant is not an officer of this court or any court or legal system as a whole. She is not bound lawfully under oath or certified in any professional means to be or act as a legal agent or representative, lacking requisite professional competency, experience, expertise in the field of law presently and historically. I mean, yes, we get this, which is why you should have shut the hell up and let the lawyers do the job. I mean, it's just simple as that. The defendant is defective and ineffective counsel to self as a result, which therefore will detrimentally impact and impede favorable justice to the defendant and the opportunity of a fair trial based on equality with an unprejudiced conclusion of her case. Again, I'm sorry, but we've already been here, Sarah. It's like, but I do like the way that she's sitting here talking about, I'm incompetent to do this, and I can't do this, and I can't do that, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I know. We get that. Simply, we are totally responding to the JAC, yes. Or, I'm sorry, we're going to respond to them, too. We're going to read the response, right? Carolina says karma is golden, 100%. That's what she's getting, and she doesn't want it. And this is my thing again. I'm like this. I'm like, girl, whatever your grift is, okay, I get it. You're trying to do your thing. This is your game. It's your thing. Do it. Whatever you got to do, okay. But you also have to know how to play the game. It's time to move on for some of this stuff. It's done. It's done, okay? It's done. Move on to the next part of the grift, right? Okay, here we go. The defendant is presently incarcerated, which is causing and will cause unfair burdens, limitations, deprivations, inaccessibilities, and unequal opportunities in and to her ability to complete tasks and timely responsibilities suitable to the vital defense of the defendant's life and livelihood futuristically. She also likes the word futuristically. By the court rejecting professional education. Now this part, honestly, y'all, this is the part where I was a judge, I would take my badge off or whatever the hell they wear, the cloak, whatever you call it, and come up over that podium, y'all. Because it's like, but she did this. If you read it differently, by my rejecting professional educated experience, aid, and assistance of effective standby counsel, or counsel, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so by the court rejecting professional educated experience, aid, and assistance of effective standby counsel to and for the defendant in preparation and production of her rightful defense, results may be adverse from the unfair disadvantage oppressed circumstances to properly thrive in her forced position by the court of pro se attorney and representation of self. I mean, play the little fiddles. I mean, seriously. Examples of said unfair burdens, limitations, deprivations, inaccessibilities, and unequal opportunities include. Okay. Okay, here we go. A. The defendant has not received from the court to date of this motion any of her promised discovery or case-related materials submitted by former attorney to the court during the unannounced hearing on 6/28. With only 4 days to submit my demands and motions delegated by the court on or before 7/22. B. The defendant has not reviewed from the court to date of this motion any of her promised discovery or case-related materials submitted by former attorney to the court during the unannounced hearing on 6/28. She does it with only 4 days thing. The defendant does not have access to a computer. The defendant does not have access to the internet. The defendant has extremely limited irregular access to basic tablets surprised by OCCD. The defendant has access to pay phones for collect calls, only limited to 15 minutes each call. The defendant does not have access to organizational supplies or production equipment, copier, printer, etc. Defendant does not have access to a meeting place for privacy and case review and preparation. Additionally, daily obstructions and undetermined hardships, disadvantages, difficulties will likely come about due to being incarcerated. And once my case materials are finally received, continued application and reasoning and further lawful support of defendant's request for immediate relief with standby counsel to aid and assist in preparation of her criminal case. I mean, I'm reading into this, Sean. I'm like, this sounds like a whole bunch of reasons why you should have sat down and shut up when you had the chance. Please hold. Good Lord. I mean, here's my thing. You want to talk about a disadvantage in the case? You want to talk about a disadvantage? Let's talk about that damn. Let's talk about that damn videotape you took of the crime being committed. Okay, I mean, let's talk about that disadvantage. I mean, we can't blame anybody with that, right? So, I mean, come on, right? Okay. You're right. Shannon says, perhaps you maybe shouldn't have murdered a man in a suitcase. Exactly, right? It's just, Chris says, what discovery does she think she's missing? She knows the recording. The most important piece of discovery, she knows from front, back, and center because she took it. It's that damn thing. Yeah, y'all, we're going to read I've got the JAC response up here. We're not going to go through all 29 pages of this. We're just doing this part at the beginning because it's kind of interesting or whatever. So, yeah, there's that. So we're going to get to that next. We already did the other one first. Okay. Preparation, but okay. Now this is, let me just kind of get through here because this is where we're going to get into some stuff. Okay, so this is where she starts going into like case law and things of this nature. We're going to kind of just go through this a little bit because it's, it's a lot, okay? So she's just going through amendments, Constitution, right to counsel, Sixth Amendment, waiver of counsel, this. Again, here we go. Now, let's skip down to this, okay? The right to waive counsel, parentheses, forced by the court, okay, is the right knowingly to proceed in ignorance. It is sufficient for purposes of both the state and federal constitutions that the record taken in its entirety shows that the defendant comprehends that a waiver of counsel means that they will proceed into the labyrinth of law without the assistance of a trained guide. She really thinks she did something with this. Now it just goes into she's quoting more case law. A lot of this just gets into that, y'all. Performance for a lawyer, criminal representation of failure. Okay, this is more case law. Of course, now here's her part. So right here, y'all, she gets into the Florida Constitution. Okay, and she starts going into, again, just copying sections of it, and I'm just like, how? For someone who has limited time, she spends a whole bunch of time on something. Now, I get at this point she doesn't have the discovery to be going through and picking apart and whatnot, but it's like you're spending a whole bunch of time on something that's like it's not gonna happen. And another thing I kept thinking about when I do this is, okay, so you know how she's sitting here talking about, I don't have a space for this and I don't have a space for that and blah blah blah. I'm sitting here thinking this, I'm like, well, yeah, Ted Bundy kind of ruined that whole situation for you, because it does kind of sound like she might benefit from almost like a law library type situation. But I'm like, yeah, Bundy kind of ruined that for everybody when he jumped out the damn window and made a damn run for it, right? I'm sorry, it is what it is. I mean, sure, you could use a damn little copy machine and whatnot, facsimile or whatever they got in there, but I mean, come on. Okay, Renee says, I'm wondering if they've let her see the video again. She didn't remember taking clearly in the interview. They barely watched it. I wonder if she had a chance to see it again. I'm very curious too, and I'm sure that will be of big importance to her. Yeah, and Leslie says, just state the case law, don't write out the whole freaking law. That's the thing. She sits here and goes through the whole thing, and it's like, oh my God. And again, it's like she's wasting all this time. It's like, come on, girl. I mean, to me, I'm reading this, I'm like, this had to take hours. Simply, Tanika, I don't know if it changed or not. Okay, so let me go back up to here. So this is just more of the Florida Constitution that she's going through. I mean, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. I wonder how George feels about that, or how he would have felt about that as well. And all criminal prosecutions of the accused shall upon demand be informed of the nature. Again, this is just terminally online, right? Take the iPad thing away from her even while behind bars, okay? Limit the access, okay? Because this is getting out of control. God knows she'll probably do herself in with the law library. So we're just skimming through this. There's nothing but just case law and whatnot. If you're really into this part, I pre-recorded a video. You can listen to that. It'll probably come out tomorrow or the next day. I mean, gee. Okay, well, here we go. Recognizing the truth. I mean, again, just more. Article 5 declared that all criminals. I mean, she's really piecing something together here. A whole bunch of nothing. This part here, she's quoting up here. Even the intelligent and educated layman has small and sometimes no skill in the science of law. He is unfamiliar with the rules of evidence. Left without the aid of counsel, he may be put on trial and convicted upon incompetent evidence or evidence relevant to the issue or otherwise inadmissible. Honey, I can tell you the evidence in your case is 100% pertains to the situation. We got helicopters over here, y'all. We got helicopters going. Please hold. I mean, this is what I'm talking. It's like this pity party letter. It actually has me, like, honestly pissed off. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It's like really sad. Like it's like gotten to me. Sarah's gotten to me. I mean, y'all, when I recorded this earlier, this 29-page thing, and I read it verbatim. I mean, obviously, I made commentary throughout. I was done. My body rejected it twice, okay? My body rejected it twice. I was just like, I can't. But then I was like, I don't want to come back and read it again later. I was like, we'll just skip through this. So anyways, that's what we're doing. Let's get through here. I mean, look at all this. Numbers, case law. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. This right here, I'd be like, just cart me off. Lord mercy. What, 20 years? Okay, fine. This is too much. Give me some damn Cheez-Its and a damn iPad and just send me down the damn road. Okay, let's see here. The Constitutional Command. I mean, again, Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. She's going to let the judge know this. Again, she's already said she hasn't even gone to one day of law school, but she's going to tell them. And I guess she's trying to prove a point or whatever, but. And then she goes over the rules. I mean, it's just. The handwriting gets a little messy for Sarah through here. Like she had been like up late. So the oath, all the certificate of service, the letter, all that. Okay. Please hold. Let me stop sharing. Let me get rid of this. Let me come to y'all for a second. Make sure everybody's still here. Okay, Next, we're going to read the JAC has responded, okay? So we're going to read that here in a second. Please hold. Just bought some Cheez-Its. I know they're good. Anytime I talk about Carly Russell from today's video, I killed a box of Cheez-Its earlier today, y'all. That's the thing about that case. That's the thing about that case that gets me going with Carly. I can't put the damn Cheez-Its down. So, yeah, the whole thing is just frustrating because, again, it's just she had her chance, 8 chances. We've been through this. She abused the system. She's still abusing the system. And she's going to go through this, and she can keep talking all she wants about this. The judge is probably like, girl, get it on appeal. Get it on damn appeal. We're moving through with this. He's just not putting up with it. And I don't blame him. Okay, let's go. Let's get to the real juicy stuff now. I only looked over a little bit of this. Please hold. Shooba-doo, shooba-dooba-doo, shooba-doo, a-dooba-dooba-doo, shooba-dooba-doo-doo. Okay. Let me see if you see what I see. Oh, gee. Okay. Justice Administration Commission's response to motions seeking due process cost. Comes now the JAC, as we've come to call them. By and through the undersigned attorney files this response to the above cited motions as follows. Number 1, the defendant is cheap and tawdry. I'm just joking. Says the defendant is seeking authorization for various due process costs as follows. Appointment of standby counsel to assist the defendant, cost to take depositions, an unspecified amount for a defense investigator, unspecified expert witnesses to assist the defendant, and cost for unspecified witnesses to appear at trial. Number 2, as an initial concern, any future requests for due process cost, such as requests for transcripts, investigative costs, or experts, need to be served on JAC prior to the court considering the matter. Let's scroll down. The defendant is responsible for providing JAC with any motions for due process cost so that JAC can respond accordingly to those requests. You see how they're kind of putting it back on her? See, this is the thing now. It's like, girl, you're your own attorney. This is where you're at. So, guess what? You need to be a little bit more professional. Number 3, JAC may only pay for due process costs pursuant to sections, and it lists them out, Florida statutes. As directed by Section 27425 Florida Statutes and the General Appropriations Act, all due process services are subject to the Florida statutes and the JAC contract, policies, and procedures. JAC objects to any compensation rate in excess of established rates. So that's being fair right there. For whatever it is, it's like there's established rates for the stuff. Anything above and over that, we're going to object to. I mean, that's like how it should be for anybody, right? In my way of seeing, in the SOFA way of seeing it. As for the appointment of standby counsel, the court entered an order on June 28th finding that the defendant waived her right to court-appointed counsel through her conduct in this matter. Thus, the court has already ruled on the issue of appointed counsel. Done. Okay. Done. Cut her off right immediately. Just once. What I love about all that work. And they just wrote a few lines. Next. Thank you, next, right? Who is that? Ariana Grande'd her. They're like, thank you, next, bye. Thank you, bye. Okay. Deposition-related cost. As for cost to take the deposition, the defendant is authorized to incur cost to take depositions for those deposition authorized under the Florida Rules of Criminal Procedures. The notice of taking deposition substitutes for a court order for purposes of the court reporter seeking compensation for appearance fees. Hold on. She'll be a monster in those too, right? Okay. As for service of process, service must be through the sheriff unless the sheriff is unable or unavailable to provide service of process. In those instances where private service of process is necessary, a separate motion to incur costs for private process server will be required. The sheriff must be used to serve in county law enforcement. As for transcripts, JAC has no objection to regular paid rates. The motion and order for transcripts must reflect sufficient information to identify the proceedings to be transcribed, such as the type and date of hearing, date and type of hearing, and recording type and date of recording. The defendant should only order those transcripts necessary for defense of the case. Now, this is my next little thing here. I think she's going to abuse this however she thinks she can, right? So whether it be over ordering stuff or like literally just filing tons of depositions and things like this with like useless people, but mostly the way I think she'll abuse it is I think that she will use it as a way to lash out at people. Example to be given, Georgia's family. You already know. Okay? She is going to use this as a weapon. Okay? Certainly the cops who interviewed her. She's going to, I can't wait to see her talk to them. But she's 100% going to use this as a way to abuse them. If you remember the cases that we've covered that are like, y'all help me out here. What was that guy's name that killed the poor woman who was just like the house manager for that dude, and she just happened to be home and he killed her, and like he just like was so horrible on the stand. And I don't know if he interviewed people. He didn't represent himself in that, but he took the time to like completely just rip apart everybody he could. But anyways, that kind of vibe is what I'm talking about. Very Daryl Brooks, the way he did with victims and people like that on the stand. Scott Nelson, bing, 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 Holly. Give Holly a round of applause. And I didn't even give that much good of information for that one, Holly. That one's good. That was good. You already knew. Awful person, killed the woman who just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time working for a dude at his house. Scott Nelson, if you haven't watched that case, y'all, it will send you over the edge. It will send you over the edge. He's a horrible human being. Horrible, horrible human being. Okay, let's get back over here. Okay, here we go. We're at number 9. The uniform statewide rates are set forth in the General Appropriations Act. Court reporting services cannot exceed those rates. Private investigator rates. Pursuant to uniform statewide rates, the rates for investigators cannot exceed $50 per hour. I would have thought, I wonder, do they really charge that little? Or is that like that's what they charge the state, but like a private situation, they would charge more? I figured they would make more money than that. As required by Florida law, any private investigator providing services in Florida must have a Class C license from the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and be employed by an investigation agency with a Class A license. If the court grants the motion, the order needs to indicate the amount authorized for the defense investigator. Based on the docket, it appears Prison Break Investigations, Billy Lane, may have already been appointed to this matter. The JC does not object to the court authorizing $5,000 for a defense investigator and $500 for the investigator to obtain case-related documents and materials on behalf of the defendant. She's got $5,500 to spend. That's all she heard, and you would think it's $1 million. She and her role right here. This puts Billy on her payroll. He is a peon to her. He is just a peon, okay? And I can tell you this is how this is going to go. Billy, may I ask you a question? How is it you knew to come here? She's going to withhold funds. She's going to be like, do you want your paycheck? She's going to completely abuse that. Okay. Expert cost. I can't wait to see her experts. She's going to have damn Samsonite in there. She's going to have damn Samsonite. One of the damn factory workers from Samsonite up in there talking about that damn zipper. I mean, I'm talking about, y'all, okay. She's going to have damn Timu up in there. She's going to have Timu and Samsonite. Denny Don's a Timu. Okay. Oh my God, y'all. I cannot wait for the damn experts. She's gonna piss that damn money away on like just dumb expert. She's okay, like a normal legit person would truly be like, get like somebody up in there, like, you know what I'm saying, like a suitcase person or a zipper expert. I don't even know if there's such a thing. She's gonna be hiring a damn expert talking about still investigating why she didn't get a letter letting them know that she had that case that hearing the other day and why she got woken up at 3. And it's like, girl, you spent your $5,000 talking about why didn't I get a letter that I had a court appearance, and now we're over here when we could have been like getting some zipper experts in here or some cell phone video people talking about this phone malfunctions and it kind of does this Black Mirror episode where it records weird things. That actually wasn't her doing that to her or to George. I mean, it's just is exactly how it would go. Yeah, Texas Redhead says she's mad because they kicked her bunk. She is bitter over. That's what it all comes down to right there, y'all. She is pissed over that bunk kicking. Okay, absolutely eaten up with it. She's gonna spend that 5. That's gonna be a revenge $5,000 right there. Honestly, I could see myself doing it too. I could see myself doing it. I'm a damn paycheck away from it too. I get it, Sarah. I get it. And be like, who's your expert? She's talking about she's wanting to get at the person serving, chow at the damn jail or something like that. That's the level of petty we're talking about. Oh, Emily, thank you. Emily gave out memberships. Woohoo! Okay, so let's keep going. There's not much more of this, and let's keep going. Okay, so the expert cost. Based on JAC records, the court previously approved $3,000 at a rate of $200 per hour for a defense mental health expert. Well, my God, if there was over $3,000 that needed to be spent on something. JAC does not object to the court continuing this authorization now that the defendant is representing herself. Okay, right there, let's pause for a second. I'd take that $5,500 and that $3,000. I'd go find me a real shady mental health person, and I'd be like, look, I'll split it with you. I'd be like, look, you want to make a real easy $8,000? You just go up in here. You talking about she's off the damn charts, okay? She's in here. Her damn head spun around when I walked in there. Damn pea soup coming from her mouth. She doesn't need to be in jail. Whatever you got to say, right? You'll get that $8,000. That's 100% what I spend that money on. Absolutely, without a doubt. Period. Okay, where we go? Okay, where we go? Okay, here we go. Sorry. Okay, so as to other requests for experts, the defendant will need to file an appropriate motion delineating, I think I said that right, the following: identity or type of expert, the amount authorized for the expert services, and rates authorized for the expert services. The defendant has the burden to show the particularized need for each expert witness. The defendant needs to show the services of the expert as necessary for the defense of the case. I cannot wait. Okay. As enunciated by the Florida Supreme Court, a party seeking due process cause has the burden to establish the particularized need for the due process services and prejudice arising from the denial of the due process services. They list a bunch of statutes, laws, whatever. Number 17. The determination of whether to appoint an expert is within the broad discretion of the trial court. An indigent defendant must show the trial court that there exists a reasonable probability that both that an expert would be of assistance to the defense and that denial of expert assistance would result in a fundamentally unfair trial. She's going to need everything she can get. I mean, I can tell you that. Cost ordinary witnesses. The defendant will need to submit a more detailed motion delineating the witnesses she seeks to summon for trial and the anticipated cost associated with those witnesses. So another thing she'll do is any neighbors that she doesn't like, she'll use this chance to victimize them on the stand, because she's going to be talking about, like, say there's some neighbor that she lent some sugar to and didn't get her container back. She'll take her time to get that woman on the stand and put her out on Front Street somehow. You know what I'm saying? She'll use those funds. Like, that's the kind of petty we're talking about here, y'all. And honestly, I'm here for it, okay? Let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. It's a newfound level of petty, and we are slightly here for it, okay? I mean, it just, TV could never, primetime TV could never, y'all. It could never, okay? Oh, my God. It's just there's no. This is why people don't go to the damn movies. Why TV is going under. You can't beat this. You cannot. This is real. This is reality TV right here, y'all. Okay, here we go. Okay, so require here we go 19. So requirement for the JC due process contract. If any providers desire direct payment, the JC procedures require the vendor to execute the appropriate contract and follow JAC's billing and audit procedures to obtain payment. That means it's going to take them forever to get paid, right? Most likely. Because of the unusual circumstances presented in this matter, JAC requests to participate in the hearing set on August 5th. Cannot wait. JAC requests to appear through communications equipment and can be reached toll free. Wherefore the JAC requests the court grant the defendant's motions, also include in its orders the specific due process services authorized, as well as hourly or per unit rates and maximum fees authorized, and that the provider be paid in accordance with rates, terms, and conditions set by Florida statutes and the JAC contract policies and procedures. And then it just gets into little things right here. Okay, so y'all, I can't. I just can't. Okay, she's exhausting. She's infuriating. I love the pettiness to a certain degree. Yes, it was a good day. I forgot about the witnesses and stuff like that, y'all. So that part, August 5th is going to be lit, as the kids might say. It's going to be lit. It's going to be very extra. Because here's the thing. So imagine being her. This, just all the stuff they listed off in those documents that she has to do. I'm like, that could take weeks. Imagine doing that and having to write it all out, do the thing, put it in legal mail, send it over here, and you don't really know what you're doing. And again, that's why it's like, this is why you should have shut up, Sarah. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the butt. Nobody wants to do that. Like, at all. Malibu server says, "Can I ask? Can I ask the press how they got here?" That was so good, yo. You got to admit, the one-liners are absolutely next level in this, y'all. I mean, y'all. Okay, it's like she is so good at these one-liners. Like, can I ask the press how they got here? How will she pay for the delivery of the motions? Can you imagine? Because she burns that money. She's going to have to file another motion to get free motions. She's just going to soon be like just stuck, right? Literally stuck. What do you do? 3-point back. That one, I don't know if you can tell on the cup that it, okay, can you see? Wait, hold on. See the little thing with the 3-point back? Sorry, it's gross for me to see. Can you see it better there? The 3-point back. That one, y'all, was so good. That was so good. Okay. Hey, Cindy, how's it going? Oh, yeah, Press Start says, imagine being scolded if you were her child. Oh, I can't imagine the horror she put her kids through. I can't imagine. Oh, Momo says, how do you think she's going to wear her hair for court? That's a good one. What if she didn't do this until the day of trial and she went full glam? It's a full glam. Okay. Like, had been growing her hair out and went hardcore full jailhouse glam. I've lived for this, right? Because here's my thing. And the trial is going to be frustrating the same way as, here's the thing too. I'm not trying to sit here and say one thing is worse than the other. What happened to George is terrible. And I'm getting ready to get into this. We're comparing this with the Darrell Brooks thing. The Darrell Brooks things was horrible. Okay. He ran over elderly people, kids, like women, everybody, right? So the Darrell Brooks thing was infuriating in a way. Like, they're both infuriating, but Darrell Brooks was like another level of infuriating. And I think because there's something about, what's her name, Sarah, that's almost bordering on like this comedic timing that she doesn't know she has, right? It's almost like this unaware comedic timing. but, are you trying to make me feel worse? Like, that is what I'm talking about. Like, that unaware comedic timing that she does, it's like she's not trying to be funny, but it's so over the top. And I guess because she's being serious, it comes off as like, first and foremost, like, are you crazy? Are you this, like, entitled? So I think it's going to kind of give some of that same vibes as Daryl Brooks, but Daryl Brooks got to the point where you literally just wanted to come through the screen, right? And Iona says, Daryl seems ignorant while Sarah is a narcissist. Yes. You can stick your host here with just get one line. You can stick your host or stick your host with just special one-liners. Yes, 100% stock. Yeah, gotcha. We could do Joan Rivers carpet. Oh, yeah. Tracy says, I can't imagine how the jury selection will go. We might not make it out of jury selection. I think that the judge will have to cut her off. He's going to have to get a gong. Or what was that other show where they had the big hook, like the shepherd's hook, that they would pull somebody off stage for that talent show thing? Yeah, Christy says her face tattoo will say unintentional. Hey, Liz, how's it going? So, she lost her career as a sign writer at Trader Joe's. Yeah, 100% Color Pencil says that. Yeah, just Alyssa says, Sarah to George's family on the stand, did you call me everything except a white woman? She is going to, what do they call her? What does she say they called her? A white devil or something like that? This whole thing is going to be built up to victimize his family. It's a given, okay? She is going to probably infuriate us by the way that she talks to them. She's going to absolutely, and it's going to send us over the edge. Those are going to be the moments that are like super pissy during the trial. It's when she's like coming out against like his family or throwing him under the bus, these kinds of things or whatever. But then there's going to be just the next level stuff of like her just being Sarah, just raging narcissist who's completely unaware of just herself, and it just ends up being comedic where you're just like, what? It's just like Jennifer, remember Jennifer Rosenbaum, which that was an absolutely horrific trial, but the only person that and she didn't represent herself, but the only person that she could get on the stand to speak on her behalf at the end was the postman, okay? It was like the dude who drops off the mail. That's the kind of energy I'm expecting to get from this. Except she'll have the chance to talk to him. So, pardon me. So Renee, pardon me. So Renee says, Paul, have you looked into going to the trial anymore? So I did reach out. I actually reached out to Gigi. Be sure to follow her channel. If you do not follow her channel, Pretty Lies and Alibis, we love Gigi. I asked her how the whole thing went down, and this isn't answering the question about looked into going to the trial, because one of my concerns was like, well, how do you know how this works? Like, and how does it work? Do you have to get up? Like, how do you do this, right? She wrote back immediately, and she was like, basically it is what it is, like, get travel insurance, but that's kind of how these things go or whatever. And she just described her experience at the Daybell stuff, and Daybell, Alex, all the ones that she's done, right? And that, yeah, like some of these are really small courtrooms, people camp out to get a spot in there, it just kind of is what it is. So I'm going to play it by ear, because in my mind it would be interesting to go and just see, even if I can't get in, to just go through the motions of it. You know what I'm saying? So that I've done it one time. But I'm just going to have to play it by ear and see. I personally don't think it's going to happen when they're saying it's going to happen. I personally think the judge will give her a continuance. I think he's scaring her, and I think he'll give her one continuance. Thanks, Christy. So I don't think it'll happen then. So there's that. So, but the other thing part to it too is, if I go through the motions, you just figure out how to do it, such as, okay, so you get down here and it keeps going. Okay, so I guess you just get you extend the hotel room, or all those kinds of things are what come up in my mind. Hey, Jenny, how's it going? If Jenny's there, I'm there. So yeah, I want to try and go is the short answer to it. Will I be able to sit in the courtroom or not? And you already know me. Do you think I could sit in the damn courtroom? Imagine sitting in there for jury selection. I'd make it like 30 minutes. I'd be like, I have to go to the bathroom. Especially if they're like, no, you can't have any drinks in here. I'd be like, what? Immediately, no, I'm sorry. We'll be reporting live from the outside, okay? Jenny says, I'll camp out and you can come with it. It would be fun, Jenny. We have like a sofa squad reunion. Cindy says they'd kick us out. I know. I fear that they would. Yeah, Denny says, I don't think you can be quiet. I don't either. That's my thing. Thanks, Christy. Gifted 5 memberships. Yeah, Charlie Duck says, I'm taking time off for work. I was televised. If I don't go, like, definitely I'm going to, like, try and get off work. And, like, that will be one that I would definitely try to sit, live stream, and go through it. Because we followed it, but again, it just depends on, you know how some of these cases that once they finally go to trial and you're like, oh, this is really a struggle to get through, but we'll see. Yeah, reporting live from the court steps. Pardon me. So we'll see. Reporting live from the jail cell, yeah, right. They'd be like, you know what? Put him in the thing with what's her name, with Sarah. Yeah, see, Spooky says, I would laugh out loud awkwardly. Okay, so that's my thing. So y'all know me well enough to know by now that laughter is the way that I kind of like have gotten through my own personal struggles and traumas and sad times and all those kinds of things, right? So I am like, somebody who does inappropriate like when that's how I handle things. And so if they told me not to laugh in the courtroom, I immediately would want to pee in my pants laughing, right? Just because I said it was not appropriate. I might not make it 10 minutes in, is what I'm saying, but we'll try. So, would be totally funny, though, if they did let me in and we could have beverages and stuff, and I literally sat here like this, just low-key, I kept a poker face the whole time. Just like that, and y'all saw me in the back, y'all would be squealing, okay? Absolutely squealing. Wear a Roscoe shirt, yeah. Can you imagine if Sarah, I don't think that, I don't know if she could even have access to that, but if she recognized somebody in the audience, like from YouTube, but I don't think she would know what they look like. Tracy says she went to school to become a court reporter, but her mom pointed out, I want to be able to keep my mouth shut. I'd be yelling, objection! I mean, 100%. Oh, Samantha, you got a membership. Samantha, I don't know how you're trying. I mean, you obviously have one now from the thing, but I don't know, depending on how you're doing it, if you're trying to do it on your phone. Like my phone, it's gotten so weird that certain ways the phone is, it won't show certain features of different social media and stuff like that. So, but you might be on a computer and that doesn't matter. Mama Mochi says, she knows every YouTuber and news anchor who speaks her name. Oh, 100%. Her fans are going to fill those court seats up. I know, right? Hello, Heather from Iowa. Hello, Iowa. For whatever reason, in my mind, this is just me, I always thought that Iowa, you know where Washington State is? In my mind, I think that's where Iowa is. And so I'm always surprised when I look at the map and I'm like, what? Why isn't it over there? Why is Washington there? I thought it was like right over there. I need to go back to school for geography. Thank you, Liz. This is the blue-eyed white dragon is a car. Hold on, you describe the power. It seems very. I know, right? Thanks, Shadow. My CrimeCon badge and bring it out. Yeah, Jenny, you can wear your CrimeCon thing for credentials. We can call them press credentials. Be like, yeah, we're press. I'm like, what is this? It's my credentials. She'll be watching court TV. Oh, yeah, she's got a crush on Vinny. She's got a crush. This would be me, too. I'd just be sitting there silent with the thing. I'd be like, I'd be doing my little hand wave like I do. The judge would be like, are you waving? Please get out of the courtroom. Why are you doing that? I'm scared. I'm frightened. Y'all, I forgot to show y'all this. Oh, my God, it's sitting right here, too. Please hold. Look at what this is terrible. The screen name is either Shauna or Shayna. She's working on a book. It'll be out soon. if you're watching, claim your fame. And remind me again about the appropriate pronunciation of your name. I do apologize. I'm very embarrassed. But she sent me this wonderful little thing in the mail. Look at this. Like a little pen thing. Thank you for being a friend. Isn't that cute? And then, please help. Isn't that cute? That's so sweet. And it's a good book, too. She's going to be here in August at a book reading. And I am excited to go. Um, Idaho is near Washington State. That's what it is. Thank you, Book Mama. Popcorn pouch, 100%. Can you imagine if I did pull out popcorn? There's 100 scenarios that would be funny, or like that would honestly, you can make a TV show out of them. I mean, you wouldn't be able to go through them because you'd immediately be banned, but it is what it is. So, oh, I did see those. Northwest says, "Did you see the pics of Sarah putting her son in the suitcase? See if he has a yeah." It's like, what is it with these suitcases? It's just like Michael Peterson and the thing with stairs everywhere. It's like how these people find these bizarre things that they get attached to, right? Um, I'm gonna use my PTO for her trial. Like seriously, I mean, it's literally worth it. I mean, me too. I'm in Central Iowa. I always wanted to go to the Iowa Writers Workshop at the college there. That was like my dream come true, and be like Flannery O'Connor. Um, so that's why I'm like always like self-aware of Iowa, but obviously not enough to know where it's located in the country. Okay. Oh, that would be fun, Audrey. You should. Oh, Teresa says she's been watching since 2018-19. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I just love y'all. We've had such a fun time. I'm just reading your name of the core artist for Sarah. Blame Boone luggage tags. I know. Oh God, really? Yeah. Well, I have to go because I am getting up super early in the morning to head to the big tall things in western North Carolina known as the mountains. I was actually supposed to be there right now. And today was a typical Paul day, where everything went wrong that could. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay here and leave in the morning. Um, so we'll probably do a live chat from there. So that's it. But yeah, thanks for reading through these with me. That was fun. I do appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Derek, for being here, for being wonderful, for keeping me in line. I do appreciate it. And that's it. Y'all have a good one. And I'll talk to y'all whenever I talk to you. I don't know how the internet connection is going to be where I'm at, but we'll see and we'll test it out and we'll hang out. So that's it. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thanks for being here and making the Sofa Squad the Sofa Squad. And I shall see you